are already 3 weeks down of the NFL season, entering week 4 now. I've been doing these predictions for 3 weeks, and my current total standings are 28-20. Last week I went 9-7, not the best group there, but hey, we're going to try to aim for a better one this week. There was a lot of really weird games last week. Let's hope we can get more right during this prediction video. Before we get into this though, let me just remind you, check out W.GG. Use code SHREDDER, SHRD3R, for 10% off anything on their website, W.GG. They have different energy drinks right here. They're releasing brand new single-serving flavors. That way you don't have to commit to this whole thing. This is a 30-serving flavor. You don't have to commit to that whole thing. You can just get one of these or a few of them and try them out before you commit to a whole thing and not sure how you're going to like it. Either way, use code SHREDDER to help you out there, get a discount. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a single thing and helps my channel out a ton. Either way, let's get right into this video. This week we have a bunch of in-conference games, going ahead and getting started with the AFC games. Jacksonville and Houston. Jacksonville, this is a tough one. This is a very, very, very important game for Houston here. Obviously, I predicted before the season that Houston would have a good year, but kind of like the Eagles last year, where they're going to win their games, but they're going to struggle through a lot of them. And it's going to be just, some up and down. They lost to a Vikings team last week. And yeah, the Vikings look really good, but no one would have predicted that. Let's be real. Here, the divisional game, the fact that it's a divisional game, anything can happen. Yes, I know the Jaguars have been pretty terrible. Anything can happen in a divisional game. We've seen the Tom Brady Patriots lose to the whoever Miami Dolphins. It happens. It's a divisional game. They know each other better than others. Any team can win. I am going with Houston. However, I think this game could be a culture shock for a little bit of Houston here. I think it could be dangerous. Moving on to Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. This is a tough one, but I think Pittsburgh's defense has been so good that they're going to capitalize on every little mistake that Anthony Richardson will inevitably make. They've lost a lot of defensive players. Kenny Moore got hurt last week. I don't know if he went back in the game or not. I just saw that he got hurt, but they have lost DeForest Buckner. There's some lacking there. The receivers haven't been so great. Probably part of that is on Anthony Richardson. But either way, Pittsburgh looks dominant. I don't see a team with a quarterback issue gonna do anything to stop Pittsburgh at this point. Denver versus the Jets. The Jets coming off a mini bye. Denver got a win last week. More power to them. The Jets, I think they're gonna win this one. I think the Jets are gonna kind of get rolling here. Aaron Rodgers looked really, really, really good on Thursday Night Football. And yes, you can say, oh, it was the New England Patriots. While you're not wrong, and I understand where you're coming from, that's the Patriots. Their defense is the last thing that we're worried about, right? They have a really good defense. Even without the player, just no-name players, the schematics of the New England Patriot defenses are always going to be something to at least look at. And they made them look silly. The Jets made them look silly. The Jets, I think they're going to get rolling here. Chiefs, Chargers. The Chiefs are unbeaten to this point. I think the Chargers are going to get them here. Chargers coming off of a rough game in Pittsburgh, but they get back home for the first time in 3 weeks, and I think it's going to be a big deal. I'm going to say the Chargers win this game unless Justin Herbert is still dealing with his ankle injury. Even if he plays, if he's dealing with it, it's going to be a problem. But if we have healthy Justin Herbert, I think the Chargers win this game. The Chiefs have looked very beatable throughout 3 weeks, and this is, the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, I'm interested to see what they look like against Kansas City. The Browns, the Raiders. The Browns desperately need a win. I mean, their season is already hanging on by a thread just 3 weeks over in this season. The Raiders, I just don't think they're going to be able to match what Cleveland's going to give to them. I just don't think it'll be possible. The Browns have a lot more talent than the Raiders, and obviously the Raiders, that moves them to 1-3 with their only win being over the Carolina Panthers. I think we got something to look at here in terms of, is a Davante Adams trade coming? Because every loss they hit is just one more step closer to a Davante Adams trade. Then moving on to Buffalo and Baltimore, the Sunday Night Football game this week should be a good one. To be quite honest with you, Buffalo, they have been dominant in every way, shape, and form. Their offense is killing it. The defense is great. Even without some of their best players, Teron Johnson and Excuse me, not is that the right dude? Yeah, that's right. There's nickel corner. Excuse me. And then Matt Milano being out. Von Miller's getting a sack a game. Who is this? This is the real Buffalo team, exactly as I predicted it would be. Buffalo, I told you guys that this is going to be the best version of them we've seen. They got rid of a lot of ego, and they did a lot of addition by subtraction. Buffalo's going to walk into Baltimore, and I think they're going to hand it to him. I really do. I think we'll see that happen. And then Tennessee and Miami. I think Tennessee gets their first win here. Miami's playing either a banged-up Skylar Thompson or maybe a Tyler Huntley. They've just looked putrid through 3 weeks. Even with Tua, they weren't even all that great. Then when he went out, they looked a lot worse. But, it's just not a good situation for them in Miami right now. I think this will be a good week for Tennessee to finally get a win. Will Levis might look a little bit decent. But, sucks for Miami to be in the situation they're in. Moving on to the inter-conference matchups, intra-conference, whatever it's called. Bengals, Panthers. Surely the Bengals can win this game, right? Surely they can. I'll give it to them, but not confidently, and that's a problem. I mean, that's bad. That is not good that I'm even that concerned about it at all. Niners will win this game. Patriots coming off a mini bye, but let's be real. They just lost to the Rams. They're going to get theirs back, moving them up to 2-2. That's already not a great start for the Niners. Once again, not something that a lot of people expected, except, them and the Texans, who I predicted would have rough seasons. They might get their 9, 10, 11 wins, but it's not going to be a pretty season. These teams are going to struggle. With CMC being out, it doesn't help. Moving on to the NFC games. Thursday Night Football, Giants and Cowboys. Why do I want to click the Giants? Note that for next week that I really want to do this. I really want to click the Giants, but I will click the Cowboys for now. I don't know. The Giants at home, they showed up a little bit last week. Malik Neighbors looked decent. Daniel Jones looked startable. I want to say that with a lot of restraint, but looked okay. As much as that's worth. Anyways, Vikings, Packers. This is a good game. Jordan Love very well might play in this one. And if he does, honestly, I think that's worse for Green Bay at this point because he might be a little limited. I'm going to probably... If Jordan Love plays, I'm giving it to Minnesota. If Malik Willis plays, I think it's a lot closer, but still Minnesota. The way they look right now is filthy. Kevin O'Connell running the offense. Brian Flores running the defense. This team is well put together right now. And they're going to do a lot with a little. I mean, a little being Sam Darnold. Granted, he's younger than Joe Burrow. He could be a franchise quarterback still. Absolutely could be. The Rams, the Bears. Rams got a good win last week versus the Niners. But I think the Bears get another win here. I think they're going to be able to do it just because, they're at home. The Rams have been struggling. They're hurt. They beat a division rival. Once again, just last week. Division games. Like I said earlier for Houston and Jaguars. Division games can go either way because those teams know each other way better. They know the ins and outs of a team far better than an out-of-division team do. And there's just a little bit more there. There's a little more motivation. There's a little bit more, something there. I think the Bears get a win on this one, though. I'm just going with it. I think they will. The Eagles and the Bucks. Bucks coming off of a really bad loss to Denver. The Eagles coming off a good win to the Saints. They really shut down the Saints. I'm going with the Eagles, though. I think the Bucks are a fine team. It's just not amazing for them. But yeah, I think the Eagles, we see them hit 3-1. I think they kind of start to maybe catch their groove here. They looked really good defensively against the Saints last week. Not so great offensively, but it's okay. They'll figure that out eventually. Saquon Barkley is their offense, and they can just continue to do that. Saints, Falcons, a big divisional game here. I'm going to say because this is the NFC South. If they were in another division, I probably would not do this. I'm going to say the Falcons win this. Why? Well, because this division is they're always like every team is 9-8. And it's just some kind of tiebreaker that only puts one of them in the playoffs. They're all 9-8 though. And so why not even the teams out in 2-2 up in the top 3? It makes the most sense. Derek Carr, he slipped a little bit last week. He might slip again this week. You don't know. But at this point, got to give it to the Falcons. I think they're at home. That's going to help. Coming off of a loss to the Chiefs, they could have won that game. They really could have. But they didn't. But they're going to have some extra motivation going into a divisional game. Cardinals versus Commanders. Commanders who just beat the Bengals. What in the world? I'm going to go with the Cardinals. At home, I think the Commanders, they got the best of their luck beating the Bengals. They're probably not going to do that much more. Cardinals going to get a W and assert their dominance here, moving the Commanders down to 2-2. And then finally, the Monday Night Football game, or one of them, this game and this game are both Monday Night Football. I think this one, we're going to kind of see the Seahawks get humbled. The Lions are going to actually look their part again. Seattle, they're 3-0. Probably out of all the unbeaten teams, in my opinion, they're probably the least, valuable unbeaten team. Because who was it? Pittsburgh's defense is absolutely legit. Buffalo, it looks legit. Kansas City's Kansas City. Minnesota, their offense-defense combo with the way they're run is just super good. Seattle, I understand. They've been doing a lot of good stuff. They've been getting to the quarterback really, really well. Geno has looked okay. He's not been amazing because Geno's not amazing. He's looked good, fine, okay, whatever, somewhere in that spectrum. But ultimately, they're just, they're not on the same level as some of these other teams in terms of dominance in any way, shape, or form to their own brand of football. The Lions are the better team here. I think they're going to capitalize on that and get their win on Monday Night Football. And I think that one's the late window. So that will be a good watch. Either way, let me know what you think about these predictions. Like I said, I'm on a positive record so far. I think I'm 28-20. Not too bad. Don't forget, check out w.gg. Get yourself maybe just one of these little single-serving ones. This one right here, Push and Punch, it's pretty good. This one right here, Blue Raspberry, it's my favorite. Then we have the Mango Orange Cream. It's also pretty good. Check them out, w.gg, or the link in the description, and I'll see you all in the next video.